This video is about an indicator that I have put together, and it's up here. It's called Bollinger Band plus 5 moving averages. And let's get into it. I just want to tell you the whole reason that I made this this indicator was I was having Bollinger Bands, and then I was having 2 extra sets of moving averages, and I thought, bugger it, how about I just make one? And so it's all just one indicator. And by the way, this one here I've also made, which is called ADX with 3 thresholds, and this one here is also one that I've made, which is called Bollinger Band with a moving average. Okay, and this all ties in together to make a unified strategy. Is that even a word? So let me just open it up. This is NASDAQ, a 1 hour chart, and we're currently I'm not logged into my broker, but we're currently in the Asia session. So here's the indicator. It's called Bollinger Band plus 5 moving averages. And it's a typical Bollinger Band that is, set at 20, and it has standard deviations, which you can obviously, go up or down. And in here, you've got all the flavors of how you want the Bollinger Band to behave. Now, there's actually 5 moving averages, and they're all changeable here through SMA or EMA, okay? And the length can also be changed. These 2 down the bottom, type length 4 and length 5 are shaded, okay? And I'll explain why they're shaded. And you can actually turn the shading off if you want. So over here is obviously the style section where you can do whatever you want with your moving averages, and this is the plots and stock standard stuff. So let's look at the plots. Okay, the short length is set at 5 and the longest length is set at 12. Okay, you can choose whatever numbers you like. I've just decided that I like a 5 and a 12. Okay, it sort of sits between all my moving averages. 5 is sort of half of 10, and 12 was sort of half of 20. And in actual fact, the reason it was 12 because I was using a MACD, and I wanted the longer length of this shaded moving average to be the short length of the MACD. But you can clearly see there's no MACD on these charts at the moment. So and so what this shaded thing does, you can see it's showing me short-term strength of the trend within the Bollinger Band. So I'm always trying to find trend. It doesn't need to go for days because I don't hold overnight. I just need a couple of bars, right? But for me, I'm a visual trader. If I can see that there's these 2 moving averages are red and it's shaded red, well, the market has to be going down, doesn't it? Okay, and of course, when these 2 moving averages are green and the shaded green, it means the short-term trend is going long. Okay, and obviously the Bollinger Band is set at 20, so the middle line of the Bollinger Band is obviously 20, and that's the deviations. Okay, that's 2 standard deviations. And that's essentially it. And I have this on this side of on the higher time frame, which is a 1 hour, and over here I also have it. Now you can also just turn off the actual lines themselves, so you just have it shaded, so it doesn't become so quite heavy on your eye. But that's entirely up to you. So you can come here, and there's 4 and 5 on the shorter term. It's visually, it stands out, doesn't it? It's like we're going short. Okay, it's as simple as that, and that's why I've made this Bollinger Band with 5 moving averages. Now there's another 3 moving averages here, which you can do whatever you like. I currently have this one here, purple, set to 50. Okay, and you do whatever you like. You could have 50, 100, whatever. The 50 is handy sometimes for me on the 1 hour chart. Because I was using a MACD, it really tied in extremely well with the MACD. So, and I'd sometimes do include the MACD, but the whole thing's just starting to get really heavy with indicators. So when price in this 1 hour crosses through the 50 and we have the short-term moving average band here, which is green, and the MACD is lines above the signal line, and the histograms are green, and it's crossing up through the zero line, well, it doesn't get any better of strength of trend. The thing's going up, but like all things, it could flop around and turn over. So that's why you sometimes might see a 50 here, but I'll just turn that off. So that's essentially the Bollinger Band with 5 moving averages, and that's how I use it. Okay, the shading is just only on the moving averages of 4 or 5. Okay, all the others are just standard. So that's how I use that. Just quickly while I'm here, let me just turn off this ADX for a second. What's his name? Bollinger? I forget his first name. Anyway, okay, I just need to explain this quickly. One of my strategies is a breakout trade, and it is not using standard deviation of 1, but of 2. Sorry, not of 2, but of 1. Okay? And I did design another indicator, which is called price line with SMA and standard deviation channel. Okay, so I made another one, and then which is a Bollinger. It's a moving Bollinger Band that moves as it does on the chart here. Okay, so whereas this Bollinger Band percentage acts like the CCI commodity channel index, where it's flat. I like to see things move. Okay, I like to see the channels move up and down like they do with the price. I sort of get really like a bit confused with these channels that just don't move with price. So I made that, and then I was watching one of the Bollinger videos, and he said, "Oh, I use this thing called Bollinger Bands percent." And I'm going, "What the hell is that?" All it is just a Bollinger Band down here again. So I thought, well, it's pretty good, but I mean, it's just, I don't need it. And then I thought, you know what, I'm going to put a moving average on this. So now when this blue line, which is price, crosses through the moving average, is now alerted to me that perhaps this thing is going to go up. And so that's just exactly what I've done with this particular indicator. And you can change the length here. Just make sure, I've got it set at 12 or 13 or something, I forget. Or you can just have it set at that, okay? And this here is just uses the Bollinger Band length, which is 20. So it's a moving average of a moving average. But it works. Like here, it's like, see how price has come under this moving average? Well, it works. So that's how I use it. Now, there's also another one here, which it's very handy. It takes a lot of hard work to work this one out. This is called ADX, a DMI, which a lot of people love and hate. I have my DMI set to 10 and my ADX set to 8. So the DMI is the red and the green. So that's set at 10, back at 10 bars, and the ADX is the moving average between the DMI lines, and that's set at 8. And I find that's quite a good compromise on all charts. Okay. If you don't know how this works, it's a trend finder, and it's pretty sharp. It does lag, and the lagging component is the ADX line. Okay, so I'm as thick as a brick. I need to have a lot of indicators to say, mate, we're going short or we're going long. Okay, so and this is why I have this ADX. So see this bar here, nice big 1 hour bar, when this red line is pointing upwards, it's above green. Oh, and by the way, I've designed this so there's 3 thresholds. Okay, everything can be changed at the back end here. And why 3? Well, I thought, why not have 3? And I find it very handy and useful. I have one threshold set at 15, which is this black line. Now, Wells Wilder suggests that you only go long or short when the blue line is above 25. Well, I find for the NASDAQ it doesn't work, right? So this red dotted line is 20 and this black line is 15. So if I see this ADX line starting to push up between the 15 and 20, right, and this ADX is pushing up also, and this this green line is between the 20 and the 15, and if it goes under the 15, you're looking at a really good strength of trend. Something under here is really pushing this down. See here, look, right? Green goes above. This ADX line is now rising upwards. You might lose 1 or 2 bars. And then look here, look at the push with this red line. It goes right under 15 and whooshka. Ginormous trade. Probably you would have entered there. 200 points. Last night, close of the session on the 1 hour, it was very difficult to work out. I just didn't know what it was doing, but I'm just going to duck over to this 10-minute, and you can see the same thing applies with all these indicators. Red was above the black line, the dotted red line, and this ADX was pushing up this way, and you can see the green went right under the 15. You see this stuff, you jump on it and go, okay? Plus, you can see here that the Bollinger Band percent B with SMA, you can see it's right under its moving average, and it's just showing you that, you know, the market is moving downwards, okay? It takes a little bit to work all this stuff out, and so that's where we are with that indicator. This video was only supposed to be about the Bollinger Band, but it looks like we've gone a bit further. Now, there's a lot of ways to use the Bollinger Band, and I don't want this to be a tutorial on it because I don't need to. Obviously, the Bollinger Band is measuring standard deviation, and there's 80-90% of the market sits between 2 standard deviations, and then whatever. I kind of use it a bit differently as a breakout. So whenever I see this price breaking out the top band, and I see these indicators also pushing upwards, it's a really good sign of strength. And I'm a scalper, and I'm just happy to make 20 to 50 points a day, maybe across 1 trade or 2 or 3 trades, and that's how I do it. So typically, I might have my actual chart here set at 1 deviation, and this thing here set at 2 deviations. Okay, it just saves having 2 Bollinger Bands up here because it just gets so fucking crowded. And same on this on the lower time frames. It just depends how I'm feeling. I might, so there's 1 standard deviation. You can see the breakouts here. So on this 1 hour, you can see it's all breaking out, and it's surfing the top Bollinger Band along with the short-term channel here. Everything just works together. You can see it's all surfing below. That's what I look for. These breakouts. And that essentially is it, folks. There's not much more to this strategy, and I've been doing this kind of thing with different indicators and trying to condense everything, and I've decided to learn how to make indicators with the help of ChatGPT. Okay, simple as that. I'm not an expert in coding, but it might take me 20 goes to get the indicator right. And that's how I do it. Sorry for rambling on, but I just wanted to get it across in one video. But yeah, that's it. So now there's just 1 indicator. I don't have to have 14 indicators up here to do the same thing. And you don't even need to have this other crap here because you can just use this 1 indicator. And it shows you everything. It shows you long term with the 20 SMA. It shows you short term with these the short term band. And that's about it. Okay, catch ya.